Marty.
It's been a long time.
Are you the same man I used to know, Marty?
We changed.
Not you.
So got it. Yeah.
After they put me back together again, Bangkok, they told me you were dead. Cut me ambush.
Wrong. Left for dead.
Pretty good, man. Thanks, Jack. You know, I was at my
I figured that was your way of saying hello.
after I went
Too hard.
I went to a doctor's office.
Those two that were up in the balcony with the night scope, they were very good. And the ones in the park,
Down at
the
Harper,
roller skater, the best. She was a real beauty.
Wayne
And the
State,
one that was buried in the sand, he's working with a clean
and
slate. You got good people.
Harper University, and I still got a lot of friends. I forgot that
What's this all about, Jack?
they were encouraging me to
What'd they tell you?
You went over.
bring my
You believe them?
bring myself back, and no,
They tell you I had a family?
What?
there was nothing stopping me from taking my position
You made a
back and
family of your own, Marty?
reevaluating and taking a few more tests and
So little time.
do a little bit more studying on the outskirts,
Remember
the
that
outer
night
programs
over
for
May saw?
special programs that are
Long
attached to
warlords and his assassins.
other ones that
This corner
have
temple, like this one. And we lay there waiting in the dark. And the air was
certs
thick and
that,
rich
I
and
mean,
free.
if anybody y'all know
And they
any
came
like
in the middle of the floor.
assistant nurses, aides, or nurses, or doctors, and doctors' aides, and nurse practitioners, and PTs, OTs, and
Come on.
specific nurses, hospice nurses, etc. There are a lot of different things that
My wife
I
was
was
not
welcomed
changed
back
everything
to
me,
today.
because at the end of
And they
everything,
said my badge is still as good as
their
it was
widow
the
was
day
wanted
they
anyway.
freaking printed it.
Are they all
And
right?
Yeah, they're here. My
they
aunt.
told me it would help me in the community.
Remember Erendira?
It would put the people that are following these other people to
You're
shame,
with her.
Watch out for
according to them. And I wouldn't have to have the attitude of chasing clout, because helping people
Why here?
for free because it's in your heart,
Everybody's hunting you.
everybody wants it.
I had to.
Imagine being
Marty,
waking up in a hospital.
you're the only one I ever trusted.
I want to give you an example, i.e., an acme fell on you, or you got hit by a train or a bus and you survived it, or you got electrocuted like me, and you wake up in a trauma center and there's a bunch of people trying to save your life. You're on life support and you've already died so many times, you can't even count them. And your loved ones they're being told to go home and make funeral arrangements. When the family members stay as long as the point to where they get you stabilized, and then you're in either you go into a coma or they put you in a self-induced coma. I had both. Went into a coma. I kept dying, so I said, okay, let's just bring him back, stabilize him, put him in a self-induced coma, and it worked. It worked. Those guys know what they're doing, I guess. Modern medicine. Living in misery, not because you call it miserable, not because you want people to define what miserable is, that I am trying to talk about and what I think miserable is. It's the actual definition of miserable. As a person that has taken on way more than what they can handle, and believe it or not, we're built tough. You ever seen that commercial? Built for tough, and boom, a big slab of concrete just falls, and you can see the dust hitting from the point of impact. That's us. That's us, man. We can handle it. The question is, do you want to? Do you really want to? Do you really want to handle it? Now, I've escaped it. Grim Reaper. I was in the doom of gloom. And most people, I don't care who you are, I don't care how tough you think you are, and I don't care how many DNRs you think that will stop you from going through that, because my dad had 3 DNRs and they still saved him all 5 times. And that made him miserable. And I'm sure some of you probably have your stories on the DNR as well. I'm sure you know as well as I know that, as long as there's insurance, they do it. What is this? No, they're coming back because of the tariffs. And don't worry, that'll be overturned. Everything that we see that is going against Donald Trump, he's going to win. My projection, he wins 96% all the way until he goes out of the office. Yeah. Those pimps know what they're doing. But while I'm in here, I might as well take a look and see who I got in here. Well, I don't even have no mods in here. Anyway, I don't think it matters when people look at each other and they say, if that ever happens to me, or I'm sure you've heard this stuff before, or you said it when you were younger. If I ever get that way, shoot me. Right? Don't let me go through that. Promise me. Right? I don't know anybody. But I do know that a lot of people are subscribed to me, and I'm good with that. And I earned my views. I earned my thing because I was good at what I did, and I used the knowledge that I had, that I learned many, 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 many years ago, pursuing that paralegal degree while I was in Jackson prison 30 years ago. Um, and it's still as good as it was the day it was written. Ain't nothing different. And I put myself on the line to prove to people that the Constitution has a lot of power to it if you know how to use it. But the problem here is that they're getting ready. They are building an army outside of our armies. And everybody sees it. That's what that big, big, beautiful bill. For those of you that are in the A1 communities, let me put you up on something. I want you to look around. A lot of people can't afford cable, but you can go somewhere and watch some of these commercials that are coming out talking about the DOJ and the FBI hiring people. All you need is a high school diploma and a CPL, and they'll train you to be a Homeland Security federal agent. And then whatever they do then, they could slap a U.S. Marshal, CIA, FBI, NSA, whatever. They could put anything they want on your ID because that's what they do. Power does it just does what it wants. And what I'm realizing is that it's going to seem good on its face because there's one thing that the Republicans has learned off the Democrats. You know what that is? Remember the old, what do they call that? The plan, pitch, take, deny thing from Al Capone. He was so persistent. You plan it, you pitch it, you take it, deny it. And you keep repeating that. And that's what they're doing. That's where they learned all that stuff. Was Saul Alinsky. Okay? That was Obama and the crazy lady, Mrs. Clinton. Yeah, she was definitely a good lie manipulating piece of garbage that created the gatekeeper to know that every time you get seen for a common cold, the United States knows about it. See, and then they wanted to do that, but they knew we were a republic and there was too many people that had private insurance. So what they did is they created Obamacare. It was genius so that the younger people would come in and take care of the older people. As long as the younger people, because they're good. The majority of them, 95% of them are healthy. They're young. And that was what was supposed to take care of the older people. What do I got in here? Brian, you're up this late. What's up, brother? Make sure you hit that like button, yeah? It helps with the algorithms. You're talking to a person that knows what he's talking about. I have elicited so much behavior out of people. I make people literally believe that I got upset. I was so good at it because my voice, you can't tell. Even James Freeman admitted it. He could not tell when I was being serious and when I was trolling. If you've been following along, you would know. And that's what I got on all of them. So all the information and data that I got from them is just unbelievably. They showed me their offense and their defenses. They're weak as fuck. to me anyway. That's why I've lasted this long. You can't come to me and think that you're just gonna like troll a troll that could troll you, but I'm not a troll that goes out looking to troll people. There's good trolls and there's bad trolls. You got people that do it for the good because it keeps people's mind occupied while you're doing your little Houdini trick, writing down who's who, keeping an eye on specific people. And what I have come, and it's funny, that is funny. What's really funny about it is that these morons that think they're pushing people's buttons and controlling them, I got them to do exactly what I want. Why do you think Wolvie comes across at a certain point? I'm 54 years old. You think I don't know right and wrong? You don't think I don't know what's embarrassing and what isn't? You don't think I have any, I don't have a self-esteem? Shit, I got a great self-esteem considering the circumstances and my ability to endure pain. I have learned to use those attributes to elicit the fake, moronic people that have really good channels and have really good content. And see, I could be honest about that because some of their content is so good, but they're not who they say they are. They are not that person. So the people that you're watching are only trying to appease you to keep you there. I don't do that. I haven't. Ask any of them. Ask Brian. Ask anybody that knows me in here. He'll tell you I've been the same from day one. I haven't changed a bit. And there's a reason for it. The only thing I've done was de-escalate, but then escalate on other areas and put pressure, and then make people think how my medical issues and how there's where their self-esteem at as far as what a real man is out here. That would, like for an example, that would be kind enough to open the door for a woman. Because as you see, Saturday Night Live proved it tonight. Cancel culture's bye-bye. All you people that's been crying racist and you're done. Watch Saturday Night Live tonight. They made fun of every one of y'all tonight. They blazed the shit out of you. And I told you it would come. I told you this day would come. Because all they do is do social experiments on these people. And if they want to keep their jobs, they're going to do what their bosses tell them to do. If they want to keep that money coming in and keep their so-called status, the problem is they care about clout. And they should have never cared about clout. I don't care what anybody thinks of me. When I am aware in the truth room right here, when I am aware of my actions and I'm accountable for them, and if I tell the truth is always going to be my best friend. But it don't always work out for people that don't have common sense, and they front themselves off and they go on a piece of paper or they go into a feed where I text it in on a list of who these people have been and what they've accomplished and screenshotted their response to somebody that is in dire need of their admiration, their help, and they won't give it. So my suggestion to those people, and you know who you are, my suggestion to you to save your salvation, because God sent me here for you. I'm here for you. Go look at the rich man and what he was told before and then after in the afterlife for just a drop of water. Okay? Go look at it. Go look at that. That is what people have created out here. Your sympathy, your empathy, your conscience. If you go read First Romans, it's really good. See, whether you believe in God or not, morals and values still exist. Right and wrong still exist. Good and bad still exist. A lot of people out here that come against these police officers that have been fought by people that has used an excuse that came forcefully. Their ancestors came forcefully to this country, and they try to blame it on everybody else but themselves because their own people, Lower Africa, built their kingdom on selling them to people in Brazil. And then like 1.05.56, I think it is, owned slaves in the United States. You know where the real racism came from between the Peckerwood and the brother? Is when the brother had to pay rent and he got kicked out instead of kicked out of a foreign nation where he didn't belong. They needed to send him home where they belong. And then took all the riches from those people that sold them and gave them to them so that they could take over because they would know how to treat their country. The 14th Amendment shouldn't have been put in place. The 13th Amendment should have. But the 14th and 15th Amendment shouldn't have been there for them. Because what we're going through right now is just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And it could all have been avoided. Because that is what this new army is going to do. It's going to make sure that the Supreme Court of the nation gives them the authority. The $6 trillion that they just got, they told you it was 4. It's 6. Do you know how much money that is? Players. Hey, you players out there. Remember, it's never personal. It was just about the money, remember? Nothing personal. People blow each other away saying that crap, right? That's what happened to you. You got played. You got used. That's why in D.C. right now, when you see all these people that are protesting, there's like one black person to every 500 white people out there. I have been extensively watching and recording. It's nothing like a good receipt to go with what you're saying. So one day when I prove this by showing you the date and times, it's always been a predominant white nation. And because their existence does not make them white supremacists, it only makes them the majority. Identity politics and cancel culture has destroyed your ability to know the difference between what truth, what fiction and nonfiction is, what's right and wrong, what's good and evil. You've lost it. Look at Chicago. They call it black on black crime. Why are they killing each other? If they're these victims, why are they killing each other like that? And why would their government allow them to do that? And why are they ignoring them? Go to Forbes on YouTube and look at all the thousands of black people that's been talking to Mayor Johnson, telling them that they're going to remove him and almost threatening him. because of all the new people that they let in from South America and all over the country, because they don't care about them no more. They've already used up your capital. I am here to tell you there is a way out of this. But if you fight, you're gonna lose, and you have loved ones that need you. Do not get sucked in. Remember, the right and the left wing always have been the wings of the same bird. They're just like slavery became too taboo. They had to do something else. They had to find another way. So Michael Moore's whole ass come out and did what he did. You know? And if you start to get to know the people and know the truth is ugly, man. And you'd be surprised what you've been complicit to. And I know it's not your fault. I do not like have any attitude or have any ill will or ill intent towards any voter out there whatsoever. They can't help it. They believed in something, and that something was taken away. It's taken away from them. Who's a racist? See, they think their identity politics is going to save them, bro, and it's not. You're going to be the first head on the chopping block, even if you're white. If you're white running that shit, see, I call it wiggerism, because white people, when I loved some of the black culture, like, NWA and the rap Too Short, all that shit, when I grew up, yeah, that's my generation, by the way. You can't take that from me. Give a fuck how black you are. Go on with your game. Everybody loved music. And if you got any respect for yourself, you'll never say that again. But because, this person, if you really knew me, I don't have a racist bone in my body. I can never get myself. My mama brought me up right to. And that's the problem, people. White people always think they have to justify themselves when all they got to do is just flick them off and say, I am the majority. And if you want to call me a racist for being the majority, you're a fool. It's an asinine thing to say. And it's over. That time is over. And it's time for you to fess up and look in the mirror and take care of yourself. And continue to, because I can show you documentaries that dude from Charlie, I mean, he really was for the black communities. Charlie Duff, man, on Channel 2, man, he started realizing the systemic racism that happened. But the problem is he forgot one thing. It was a choice that they made. Because when the big three first opened up, and my father, I don't care what anybody else has to say. I got pictures that I won't share when nobody does not deserve it, but I got evidence. When people, I have Polaroids and I have pictures at these plants. My dad and my uncles worked at these plants. And there was a majority of them were black people. And their sons and daughters, they gave birth to Generation X. You hear me? Can you hear me? They gave birth to Generation X. And then crack and cocaine and heroin and rock and rap hit us like a subway train in 1984. Straight up. And they says, shoot, why should I stand out here on this plant pushing this part across taking a little zipper and pushing it along for the next guy, making $20 an hour, when I could be out there making $300 an hour pushing heroin with the YBI. So the children of those black people that were dominating the big three in Detroit decided to sell drugs and give the CIA exactly what they deserved. If I gave you $1 million and you went out and spent it on everything that was bad for you and you died from it, you did that, not me. Same thing with a crack pipe. You put a crack pipe in your mouth, that's your fault. That's your ignorance. You put a needle in your arm, that's your ignorance. That's nobody else's. You did that. You got to own that. And if you can't own that, you're in la la land. And that is why we have these encampments all over the place. And that's why the Democratic Party, they love you so much that they'll let you, because you're a bigger taxpayer than they are. The people that are paying the taxes on the 1099s, owning their own businesses that you're destroying, because they get more money from them and they don't have to share it with the federal government. So the federal government and the state are at war because they need somebody to tax. They can't tax you no more. You ain't working. You're useless to them. The Great Society only lasted so long, it gets taboo, and then they got to change their tactics. Are you hearing me? So what happened? They opened the border and let people in that use the same excuse you are. And now they're taking all your money for your programs. Go look at Forbes. Look at all those people of color sitting there. These people need to get out of here. Who they think they are in these sanctuary cities? They let our, starting from California, they let our cities burn down because the mayor was so derelict. And Donald Trump is on a video in 2017 talking in front of a camera straight to your governor in California. That's why he calls them new scum. Scum. Because he told him, he says, I've already got the Chamber of Commerce to let you have the water to come down. But they didn't want that. They needed new people to tax because those people were grandfathered in and they needed to make more money. So they burned it all down while this mayor was selling an LGBTQ party because somebody in Africa got a promotion, still using the same old dope fiend moves. It's a shame. It's a shame. I can't believe Hey, what's up, Shedviz? I lost it. I lost my arm in an electrocution. White guilt syndrome. What is that? Are you a racist? Why are you calling people by their color? That's why your head's on a chopping block in the next 10 years. You're done. You're gone. I can die tomorrow and it's going to happen to you. You're done. They used you for what they used you and you're done. Your self-worth ain't shit. Here's my absolute humane response to you. Go to an apostolic church and get baptized in Jesus' name. And join it. So that way You'll have brothers and sisters that'll look out for you, that won't lie as much, that won't steal as much, that won't manipulate you as much, because they still got a conscience. See, if you knew what I knew, you would know. And I'm putting it in the most lamest terms I can. These people, you see this dove right here? I have that peace inside my heart. Dying. I have that peace inside my heart where I can tell you the truth and still bring you out of the hole that you're in by simply getting you to get off your butt and get some neology and start going back to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob that created you, and ask him to forgive you for serving the creation more than the creator, and give you your conscience back. And quit blaming your problems on other people. Quit making excuses, deflecting, and projecting. For a point of clarification, there is no justification for anything that you would have to say when it comes to sitting around talking about white and black people. Because this stuff has been happening forever on this planet. This flashlight, somebody came up with how to make this. They come up with an idea. And they made it. And they made about 10 or 15. And then they got somebody to invest in them. A bank. A shark. Remember the Shark Tank? You got a bank or a financial institution. And they mass produced them and they sold them and they got rich. They got money. Good old American capitalism. That's the only thing that's going to keep you alive. Socialism is going to take you down. And I thank the Lord God Jesus for that guy that's going to make mayor and be the next mayor to show you how failed that state's going to be, and how New York is going to have the National Guard. New York is going to have the National Guard to come, because it's going to be Gotham City. And you don't even know it. They're allowing you to do it. Hakeem Jeffries, why won't he endorse him? He's one of your homeboys, ain't he? The most radical that's been around longer than all of them in the Black Caucus. She won't endorse him because she knows that capitalism is the only way. That's the only way that it can survive, is to pretend that there's something wrong with capitalism, but barely do just enough to get in its way so it can keep going, so they can capitalize off of capitalism themselves. Don't you guys know? That's how it rolls, man. If you haven't subscribed to me, subscribe to me, man. I know. I'm not proud of racism at all. I think everybody that's a racist is going to burn in hell, because God says you can't hate. And if you can't forgive your brother, I can't forgive you. It's in the Old and New Testament. I don't drink or I don't smoke. He might have been a couple times. Who knows? I wasn't there. I do know he was crucified, though. That means if you knew who I was, and if you paid attention to me as an activist, and then I infiltrated the 1A community and realized who they really are. They're a bunch of tyrants themselves, pretending to want change. They hate cops. They pretend to make you think that everything you're saying is true. Because, half of America has been in a jail cell, so, and a lot of cops are cocky and they're pricks, and they don't know how to treat people because they have everything's backwards because of and you're the problem. You are the one that hates them the most. You're the problem because you, all these years, have not formed coalitions, and those that did got bought off. They're called oversight committees, and they get bought off all the time because that's just how it rolls. Why do you think Mexico's a failed state? Mexico's a failed country, man. It's a third world country. Underneath its sham, it's ran by freaking cocaine. That's what pays their bills over there. Just like Florida. Miami itself was built off of crack cocaine. Pure rock cocaine. All them sky risers, all built from that. Mike, I don't even know what my Cash App is, man. But I guess I have a Brian. You know how to get my PayPal, but I really don't need your money, man. I really don't. I'm not out here for it, but it helps the channel. You know, I don't cry for money. Yeah, gamers are up around this time too. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that, Mike. I'm just telling the truth, man. I wouldn't, as much as I can't stand them people, I would not be in one bit racist towards them. Their color has nothing to do with how they act. That's stupid to call them that. I was a Sunday school teacher for 5 years, but my church with the man that raped me. Yeah, it's bad. You got to deal with that, man. Why'd you leave? Why'd you leave him alive? I wouldn't have left him alive, even though God forgives. God will forgive that. Back in the day, they used to stone him. Yeah, I can't stand none of it either. It's ridiculous. But it's none of my business what people do. It's none of my business what people do. You're your own person. Your sex life is your own. You shouldn't be out here talking about that shit. It's ridiculous. Why would you want to marginalize somebody and make them think like you? Didn't you say that you lived in a free country? There's got to be another opinion besides yours. You do know that, right? Don't contradict yourself when you look in the mirror and say, yeah, I believe in freedom. 1776. You're so full of it. These people are so full of it. Westside, it's good to see you up in here. Nothing much there. Vichy. I can't see you. Sorry if I said your name wrong. Somebody changed their freaking Xeron Streets Media. Who the hell are you, brother? I don't know how you became a mod, but I'll leave you alone. Ah. Yeah, I hear you. Okay, gotcha. That's deplorable garbage, dude. He's all right, Brian. But yeah, man. So when I get in these modes, man, it's usually because the flesh is fighting with the spirit, and the flesh is thinking that it's not going to live because of the palliative care and what I'm on. That's all. And I'm being real. Um, and that's why I stay up at late sometimes, trying. If you read the description, you'd know that. You could see why I was writing what I was writing. But there's a lot of things on my mind that one day I'll let that 5 hour freaking movie go that I got on all these people contradicting themselves, being liars, deceivers, manipulators, clout chasers, hurting people, and only helping people who they can exploit, and then maybe even give them money to make them think that they're helping, but they're not. They don't care about you. That's what I have with I have problems with some of these pastors in these churches, let alone normal people that want anarchy and they don't want a system at all because they want to stay in the existing spot that they're in now. They got their little armies they built, and they got so many dope fiends that's following them. It'd be easy to make their fortune. You think I don't know what you guys are doing? Hey man, I'm not a hater. I'm not a rat. I know people are going to do dope to the day God destroys this earth or an asteroid hits us or whatever you believe in. Because that's what people want to do. But it don't make it right. It don't make it right. You hurt yourself. For what? Because you want to feel good up here? Being with loved ones? Drinking some Kool-Aid or a glass of milk or a soda pop? That's not good enough for you. To be with your loved ones or your grandchildren as that little baby shakes its little butt, and that's your grandchild, and that's your little offspring. You're saying, God, they're so beautiful, little boys and girls, and your daughter that's 20 is in her 20s, and your son that's still in his teens, that's making way more money than you and your old lady is because he listened to his papa. I educated him. He became a diesel mechanic. He's making a lot of money, man. It's because obedience is better than sacrifice. And you don't need $5 million a year. You don't need that to be happy. Appreciate that there. When I hid my West Side, just to let you know, when I hid my channel a while back, it never gave me my 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 wrench back. I don't care about wrenches. It's just that in this community, if they see you missing your wrench, it looks like you're punishing me or you're trying to like disrespect me. So, um, I would just ask if you would put that back so people won't get that mixed up. But if I'm not a mod in your channel, if you're a big channel out here, leave it just the way it is, because I don't need to be a mod. I'm not a mod. But people that already have it, they should leave it the way it is. I know what I'm doing out here. Just don't get indoctrinated. Education is self-taught. It pretty much is. Are you? Sorry about that. Hope you heard they're okay. Sorry, man. I doubt it. I doubt it. I mean, you don't have to, but the only reason why I would suggest that you do is because a lot of places, like, I had to tell somebody to fuck off because of it. And I'm not going back to his channel because people will see that and they take it as a matter of disrespect. And if you already have somebody as a mod and they've done nothing to you and they get along, you and I, Westside, you've always been my sis. I've never had no beef with you. You know, um, people don't have to be 100% in what people believes. You've never disrespected me. You never talk shit about me. None that I know of, anyway. So I just can't imagine why you didn't see that and replace it to begin with. But just in case you didn't, I would remind you. Yeah, I know. I dropped the audience. Some of them are still holding their head like, ah, ah. That's why, because it was 150, it went down to 110. They're like, ah, there's 30 people, 40 people holding their head. Ah. Yeah. Yeah, it's really stupid. Yeah, it really is. But because I'm not a moderator and people have given me mods, and because this 1A community and their perception, and I have done so much extensive knowledge on these people, girl, you'd be surprised what. I mean, you're either the person that I think you are inside here. If I showed you what I see, it would make you sick. And I don't want to change or make you like disgusted, because you need to be out there doing what you're doing. And sometimes freaking media did it to me and it made me disgusted. And then I showed him some things and it made him disgusted. Wally still had 100,000 people. Before he lost his channel, he stopped for a long while. He just stopped because we were having them conversations and he was getting a conscience. And shit happens. Anyway, I just, yeah, watch everybody. But you got to remember, if people are defending themselves because somebody's being offensive for absolutely no other reason than the liking contest, you have to be mature enough and put it in its proper contents, because none of us have to like each other at all, but it takes us all to make a change, right? And we can't be petty. We can't. So the reasons why people would tell you that they don't like me is because they pushed a button somewhere 8 years before you even come into this community. I got stuff that'll just, you might puke if you've seen it, because they've omitted some pretty stupid things starting off. They were transparent, they were rookies, just like I was. That's where people get me. My response was evil. You hear me now, sis? It was evil and wicked. And I had the strength of 10 men then, and they couldn't fuck with this. It took 50 fucking people to fuck with me. 50 to 1. You get sick and tired of repeating yourself. And then you say, nah, man, that's not me. That's not me. No. But anyway, yeah, it's in your heart, man. Exactly. And it does flow from above. You're right. Oh, take me less than a minute. It does flow from above, though. LeBaron or Tinkerbell, huh? I'll let you be the judge of that. You be the judge of that. Running a poll is like having a pissing contest. If you know who you are, right? Do you need 90 people that I have in here? Do you need 90 people to tell you who you are? Or can you read a room? I've been out here so long, I can read a room, man. I know what's up. And I just, you know, there's some techniques that I have that I'll never give away. And that's what I do, man. Why would I need a pull? What would be my pull? Oh, you need to see me drink my water? Huh? You get so much. Thank you. Okay. You're welcome. I don't want to judge others. I'm not here to judge you. My friend, I'm not here to judge any of you. Y'all have a spirit, y'all have a soul, and this is my opinion, and none of you will change it, all right? So if you don't agree with me, just agree to disagree with me and move on, okay? But I believe you have a spirit, and I believe you have a soul, and I believe that Most people are good people. They just get caught in traps where, you know, it's a wisdom thing. They don't know. Um, what the real narrative is behind the sequences and the context of how or things organically play out, and you find yourself in a catch 22, and then you're like, you got friends that are like, yeah, that's that you've been hanging out with for like 6 or 7 months, and they've been saying, man, I can't stand that guy, why you hang out with him? And then he start judging you. Let me tell you something. Let me give you some really good advice. If you don't put that in check, you will be a stool pigeon within a year, and you will do exactly what a stool pigeon does. Sit there in somebody else's business, chirping about it and being ratting on everybody you can. You be a rat. Straight up. Man, I wouldn't have a clue, bro. Straight up rat. There you go. Straight up rat. Upright. Because you don't know how to mind your own business. Now, what side you heard? I mean, how many times have you heard me say that? If these people that would stop running their DSs on other people that they don't like, because, yeah, I'm sure there are some attributes that people are showing on the outside that is could be really annoying. Now, I know that I can be an annoying because 90, let me give you a real accurate, about 63 to about 93% of the time, I know exactly what I'm doing, and I have an ulterior motive. And I elicit certain behavior out of certain people. And I get that because they are on another panel running their DS, and I got their contradiction on the very exact narrative we're talking about at that time or at that present time. And that means they're a liar. And all I got to do is push play and shut the F up in the chat. This is what I love about trolls. Trolls said, well, you lied. Why are you lying? They would attack them because that is how this rolls out here. If people catch you lying, they will bite that ass. And they love to see a person, oh, no, I didn't. I swear to God. It was in something else. And it's clear as day. It's like when old boy stole that orange. Do what I want. That's my neighborhood. And went straight to the precinct and got caught. And they put him in clinks, right? What happened? He learned a big lesson out of that. Because you know what? He was miserable inside. He was so miserable that the majority of those people mm, that had his back knew how he was really cut. That's how you're really cut. Remember this. If you're engaged in a constitutionally protected activity and you are drinking or not staying in your right mind according to the laws outside your door, public intoxication is against the law. And if you're intoxicated, you lose your constitutional preventions and you've lost your authority, and now they have the authority over you, and they take that authority away from you. I'm just saying, don't get caught if you are. Well, I have evidence that he would. So you and I will have to agree to disagree. West Side. You lie to me twice or three times in a row and you sell me out like Judas, I'll never trust you again. But I'm not going to put you down. And I'm not. This stream is not to waste my time on people that I know that would never, ever be able to prove themselves to me. And I don't want them to. What they do is their business, it's their lives. The only thing I can do is put them in the hands of the Almighty God and say, hey, you know what? I don't want nobody going to hell. Push this button, God. This is my button that I'm pushing right here. Save his soul, save his family. Let him be a leader. Let him keep a job that'll support and let him be able to uh, sustain himself in every way. In Jesus' name. That's all I can do. That's all I can do. I can't I can't go around hating him. And if people that call me friend would see the evidence that I have on that, just because some big channel that got put his place by a pet channel three times bigger than his, because he will always put out my shit. That's his way of saying, you ain't shutting down my buddy. Just to let you know. You could figure out and read between the lines, do it, but I'm not here to start arguments with nobody. But I make a phone call, take this video. You know, it's a good one, and it deserves attention. And it's up your alley. This is what you do, and a lot of people love my work. You know, I get millions of views on the other channels. YouTube hasn't been friendly to me, and I made so many mistakes on YouTube, you know, because I cuss too much. That was one of the major things, cussing. I should have, especially on these live streams. I need to really chill out on the cussing. You could autocorrect it, but most people, you know what, they just don't do it. Handicap, it's always good to see you. Appreciate the hearts, man. Yeah, that's I, I get my recaps and it gives me suggestions, and usually when they give you a suggestion it's because the suggestion came from a bot that was correcting you. Instead of telling you flat out, it would just tell you to go to the YouTube guidelines on profanity. And if it's telling you specifically to read it, that is one of the issues that you're being shadow banned for. And I guess that's my fault. That's why my numbers are coming back up, because I haven't been cussing as much. See what I'm saying? Well, whoever your friend is, good night. Yeah, there you go, Sandra. Yeah. But see, even that is a generalization, because you can only have so many friends out here. I can just because I have what 22,000 subscribers. It is. I forget. Go look somebody. I don't even pay attention no more. The they're not all my friends. I would say not even 1/5 of them is. You know what I mean? They just like my work, and they like the education that they get, you know? But to actually say that they're my friends, they're not my friends. People that I talk to, people that I've given you my personal number, I consider you a friend. And I reached out as a friend. You see what I'm saying? West Side, you and I are friends because I chose to say, you know what? I'm gonna give you my number, and you and I can talk anytime we want. You got something on your mind? Talk to me, right? You and I will never have problems because you're not out there running your mouth. And when somebody's out there running their mouth, they get caught. And just because they're friends, if I'm running my mouth about one of your friends, they don't need you. Listen very close. They do, especially Wolvie. If Wolvie is rebuking somebody, you really don't need to get involved in it. Stay out of it. Stay the hell out of it. Usually I try to keep it off the air, but I get attacked. So then I gotta, be this, and I don't like being that way. I really don't. That's why I don't go on panels. I'm tired of it. I stay in control, and I still got my channel. Nobody's ever gonna take my voice away from me, you know? Lee from Stray Kids, never heard of it. Okay, I'm glad you agree. Yeah, you should stay out of drama. Answer me honestly right now, Westside. Do you think I like drama? Do you think I like putting myself in drama? Besides ostracizing police. How is it to become friends? Well, understanding what friendship really is, you can have a friend for life. If you meet somebody out in a parking lot at a bar and you guys beat the shit out of each other because of something somebody told you disrespectful, said that you disrespected them, or you said they disrespected you, right? And then you guys go at it. Them sometimes them are the best friends. They stay friends for life because they know they can't, you know, they that challenge that was taken and the struggle, they knew they were even, you know. So, you know, I guess what you would have to ask yourself, honestly, in my opinion, um, what defines a friend? That's what you got to ask yourself. I mean, you make friends in religious places, you make friends in school that you grew up with, that you hung out with, they were neighbors and they're longtime friends. You know what I mean? There's all kinds of friendships out there. But if you made a friendship online, that friendship only goes so far, man. Now, I'd have to say that I've made some decent friends online. And they know they could trust me. As far as they can pick up a rock and throw it, they know they can trust me. All right. Um, I don't turn on people that don't disrespect me But I do turn on people that hang around a bunch of people that constantly disrespect me. And while I'm on their channel, they allow them to disrespect me in their chat when I am not provoking it. Just me saying hi, and all of a sudden I get attacked. You shouldn't let that happen. That right there, you tell your mods, just like I've always told my mods, if people are not, attacking people on racism or what happened in other chats and others, that leave them alone. If they're attacking me because they're bootlickers, leave them alone. How else are they going to listen? How else are they going to learn? They got to hear it here. They got to hear it there. Here a little, there a little. You understand? That's how people learn. So you can't blame them for being ignorant. But when they start using their ad hominems, okay, and cussing you out and using identity politics, which is gone. If you watch Saturday Night Live and you are in doused in racism and you can't stand racism, you're going to hate your own people, let alone the people that are doing it, because it was really, really sexist. It was really racist, and it's telling you what they are going to do. Go back and watch it. Well, friends you could depend upon. Like, hey, can I talk to you? Can I tell you something without you running your mouth? Can I get some advice without you telling everybody you gave me advice? That's a friend. Or vice versa. Them coming to you with something and talking to you about it. You know? Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and just I'm gonna get out of here, but the Grim Reaper comes and the flesh is saying, okay, I'm ready for you, and the spirit's saying, no, God's not gonna let that happen. But the flesh is saying, but you're feeling all those erosions, you're feeling all the scar tissue on your brain. You could feel the closed brain injury, you could feel all of it. What you've been warned and what it turns into. You could feel it. That's why I do these sometimes, because it could be my last night. But I doubt it. I might live another 50 years, never know. Because I was scared there for a while when somebody gave me months to live, and I'm like, damn, okay, I'll live past that. It's like just need to shut up, right? But it still settled in, and people took advantage of that so bad too. And I says, you know what? I'm gonna say something, and let's see how much they can take advantage of this. And God, it's just despicable. I'm telling you that right now. Yeah, we got to keep fighting. Well, I appreciate that wisdom. Thank you. Well, no, actually, it does come from the heart, but the emotion of it is that I could put on my Superman suit and put that all in disdain. You know that, right? But I got more respect for myself than that, because I'm showing people the real Wolverine. This is the real dude. This is the way he's always been. I have no beef. I don't want no beef. And those people that continue the beef, they're jealous. They're just jealous, and they don't want them to grow. There's just some people out there that would want to stop you from growing, and I just call that. Even to my enemies. Wow. I mean, how about my competitors? Because they're always playing the game. I say to them, I say, you know what? Congratulations on you growing your channel, bro. I'm glad you got there. And their comeback to me was, there you go. There you go. Making fun of my channel because you got more than me. And I'm like, where in the fuck did that come from? So I screenshot that and then I put it into a file with their name on it. And it says disdain for this person. And listen, and you'll hear why. I have literal letterheads of files like that with people in it. I do. Because I have so many subscribers, it's unreal. You know, and there's a lot of people. When people are listening to you and reacting, my email is full of people that need help. They really do. And man, I try. I try, man. It's hard. And what people are going through is just terrible. The stuff that they're going through, now that's emotional. That right there is an emotion. I care. But to articulate the facts and disseminate those facts and how they organically play out, that's not emotional. It's just saying it like it is and being respectful about it. You know? Yeah, it can. They can take it wrong. They can take it out of perception. It does. They take it out of context. That can only be one person. Thanks, bro. Good for you, Kevin. All right, guys. Peace, man. See you in the next one. God bless.